Hello, I'm Lucy. I'm the Minister of Elton Park Baptist Church. And I would just like a few moments of your time, please, to talk to you about an update of where we are in opening our church building for worship and for other activities within the church building. Back in July, I spoke to you about the fact that we would like a staged return in opening our church building. We wanted some space and time over the summer to take holidays, to have a break, to pray, and to listen to each other about the way forward, particularly in terms of our worship. We also have been communicating with our brigades, and I'm really pleased to say in the next couple of weeks, the brigades will be returning for their sessions, Boys and Girls Brigade. Also, Nitta Natta will also return to the building. We have been encouraging people to meet each other outside, and I know that some of the home groups have had a couple of socials, and other people have had opportunities to meet each other and go for walks, and that is really good. So, what is the way forward then in our plan for Sundays? Well, as I said, we have had feedback from all sections of our church family, from the very youngest, our children and young people and families, to our older members, some of whom are unable to access our internet services at this present time. The results of that is that the majority of people would like to continue to worship at home through our online services. There are a variety of reasons why people would like to do that. Some people are in that vulnerable category and would prefer to stay at home at the moment. Others feel there would be more freedom to worship online. So we will be continuing our online presence at the moment, and we'll talk about that a bit later when I'm in the plans and explanation. But there is a group of people who would like to come back to our building for various reasons, some of whom have felt a bit isolated and restricted and struggled using the technology through this time to access our services. So we have decided we will open the church building and think about different formats and ways of worshipping, and we ask you to join with us in prayer to work out what God is saying to us in these times, what works, what doesn't work, and I'm sure we'll be tweaking things as we go along. Now, the trustees have written a very full and comprehensive risk assessment about returning to our church building. We have read thoroughly the guidelines from the government about opening places of worship. We have read the Baptist Union guidelines that they have given us. And using all that, we have done our best to put into action some of those guidelines to keep everyone safe and healthy. However, we also need to say that there are, of course, still a risk of you catching COVID-19 in our building. We can't mitigate from that completely until a vaccine is available. So we therefore ask those particularly in the vulnerable category, over 70, or have underlying health conditions, to think about whether it's safe and good for you to return to the church building for worship. Just like anything that we're doing at the moment, we all have to try and keep safe as much as possible. If you are considering coming back to worship in our church building, we ask you to look at the guidance that we have prepared that looks about what you can expect when you come and what we're asking for your full cooperation in doing for us, so that we can try our best to keep everyone safe and healthy through this time. So, what are the dates and what we're going to do about Sunday worship? Well, we've decided that we'd like to keep our 10:30 online service as is. with Zoom and live streaming on YouTube. That seems to work for the majority of the people, so we will continue to do that on a Sunday. But as I said, we'd also like to open our church building for 3 services and then review where we're at. So we're going to open for the first time next Sunday, the 27th of September. And we're inviting people to come into the building and watch the YouTube live stream on the screen. There will be a deacon there that will host you and welcome you and talk you through the service and what's going to happen. Other people will be there, the deacons and a welcome team, to welcome you and to show you what to do. But I do ask you in advance to read those guidelines through. We also ask you to book in advance for that service. We have a limited number of people that we can put in the building because of social distancing restrictions. So we do ask you to look at that leaflet and to book a place, please. Then also on the 11th of October, we're going to have an afternoon service at 3 o'clock. That service will be for 45 minutes, and this will be a reflective service, an opportunity and space to pray and to have Bible readings and responsive readings and videos. There won't be any singing in that service, but it will be a reflective and meditative service. Alongside that, we would really like to try and get our children's and young people's work happening that afternoon. So that's subject if we can get enough volunteers. But that's for primary age school children and for secondary school children ages between 11 and 14. Then we will try this again on the 25th of October. Again, that will be at 3 o'clock and will be a reflective service for 45 minutes. And hopefully in parallel, we will have our children's and young people's work face to face in the building. Then it will be half term and we will review where we're at. We'll be asking for your feedback and we will be seeking God about the way forward for our third stage between November and December. So I know that's a lot of information. Please contact me if you have any questions or clarification. This will all be written down as well in an email for you to read and consider whether you would like to come back into our building for worship on a Sunday. Thank you.